What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So on today's video I will be doing kind of a first impressions on the new Maybelline Superstay foundation. It claims to hold up to 24 hours, oil-free, matte seamless finish, and a long list of items that it claims on the back of this container. So I just got this recently in the mail, and I'm going to do a brief tutorial so you can kind of see how I kind of work my foundation and how I put it on my face. But before we get any further, you know what you gotta do. Hit that subscribe button and join my family, and click on that bell so that you get notifications when I post new videos. So without any more time getting wasted, let's get into this video. Alright, so I'm about to start priming my face with my Stay Matte Primer by Rimmel. You can see that. Stay Matte Primer. I'm going to take a little bit and just put it on my face. It's about time for me to get a new one because I'm almost out. But, see, take a little bit. I'm just going to dot it on my face. Now I've already moisturized, so this should kind of go right into the skin. I personally like this primer, and there's another primer by Rimmel that I really like. I forget the name of it, slips me, but I'm just gonna wipe all that in. Sweet. I'm gonna take the Coty Airspun, and I'm going to pop some of this into the lid. And because I have oily skin, especially in my T-zone, I have to set it with powder. So I'm gonna look like Casper for a second, but don't worry, once I put the foundation on, it's gonna make a lot more sense. So I don't even have the foundation. So take a little bit on the puff and just kind of set my whole face. A little bit of powder. Now, if you have dry skin, you don't really need to do this. If you have oily skin, like this is how my makeup for the most part stays on all day and stays relatively matte. Now, obviously, since I live here in Houston, the weather's a little schizophrenic. So on some days it'll be nice and cool, probably like it is today, but majority of the time it's hot as Hades. So this step really helps me to not melt off entirely by the end of the day. So just a little bit more. See, told you I look like Casper for a hot second, but don't worry, it's about to make sense. Alright, so now I'm going to take the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation in the shade Warm Sun. So I really like the fact that this comes with a pump, so I don't have to like do this business with the bottle, and so it allows me a little bit more control. So I'm going to put about 2 pumps on my hand. My primer just fell off. So take my Real Technique face brush and just kind of dot this on my face. Wow, this is really full coverage. I'm a little surprised, because I use the Maybelline, my go-to foundation is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. So I usually always go to that one because I really like the coverage and what it does for me. Oh yeah, this is about to be so this is going to be a little light, but no worries. I'm going to make this work. So just kind of brushing and stippling a little bit just to kind of get this all over my face. So again, I'm gonna kind of look like Casper for a hot second. It's gonna be a little light, a lot of light, but don't worry, I will fix that with powder. So just kind of still stippling. So still brushing and stippling on my face. Wow, this is really light. I'm gonna brush this down my neck. Oh, this is really really light, but it's really full coverage. But no worries, I will make this work. They weren't lying when they said full coverage. They definitely weren't lying. Because normally I have to touch up. Take another small dot and blend on my neck a little bit, so you know I don't have that mask situation going on. Wow, that's really light. Well, no worries, that will get fixed with powder because I use colored powders. So we gonna make this work. So the next step that I will do is I will put on my concealer. So since this covered up pretty nicely, I'll go ahead and with my Tarte Shape Tape. This is like my holy, like this is like my hands down favorite concealer. It does what it needs to do. So if you ain't on the bandwagon, get on the bandwagon. And so I'm gonna take my Real Technique sponge. It's already been pre-dampened, and just kind of go in. I actually like going over my eye area as well, so that gets concealed as well, any issues up there, because sometimes I do get some issues up there, but not a lot. Again, just showing the other side. Fill with that concealer. Alright. Sweet. So, kind of dry it on me a little bit. Dampen it up some more. Alright. Sweet. Okay. So now I'm going to take the Ben Banana Luxury Powder. Put a little bit in my little tray. I got this gifted. It's a Victoria's Secret tray, but I use this for my makeup. And put a little bit of that in there. And take my sponge, my dampened sponge. Again, please do not mind my ugly makeup face. Like, it can, even for me, can get a bit much. Just kind of setting my concealer that I just did, because if I don't do this step, it's gonna move all over the place because my skin's oily. Like, it's really, really oily. Alright. concealer is set. And then now I'm going to go in with a mix of Maybelline Sienna. So a little bit of that. And then a little bit of Maybelline Topaz. Just to kind of take away some of the Casper. It's a little much right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little much. So again, take some of this, the Make It Last by Milani. I'm clumsy as ever. Spray my sponge, kind of let that soak it in. Not gonna worry about that cap right now. Kind of mix the powder a little bit, and then just take my dampened beauty blender and press in. So now you see I'm about to make this foundation work, because that sienna is a little bit darker, so it's going to make my foundation, there we go, look more like my skin shade. And then I usually like going over where I put the concealer to make it look more like my face belongs with the rest of my body. So just doing that. Take a little bit more because I used majority of it. So, and I need a little bit just in case I have to fix any errors. So again, just kind of moving my tray around, kind of mixing it up, and going on my forehead with that same sponge. So a lot of this will get fixed when I contour. Okay. So now it's starting to look like it belongs more on my face than earlier, but still, so far, full coverage, because normally I have discoloration here and here, and that actually covered that up quite nicely. So I'm a little surprised, but nonetheless, it's a good beginning. All right. So now I'm going to take, again, that Make It Last by Milani, just kind of spray my face to set my powder, and then I just take my same sponge and press the powder into my skin a little bit, and kind of help it meld with the foundation a little bit better. And if I need to go back in, that's what I do. So now I'm starting to match my chest a little bit more. Take a little bit more of that sienna, because it's the darker shade, to kind of, you know, deepen up the areas that I need to. But again, if that doesn't really do the trick, then me contouring will. So okay, better. All right, so I finished my face, and so first impression so far, it's a very full coverage foundation. They weren't lying on that packaging when they said full coverage. I'll probably have to buy like a shade darker because that shade was really, really bright, and I really had to do a lot of things to make it look more like my skin. It's still a little on the bright side, but it looks closer to what I am. But so far so good. I'll keep trying it. I'll try it a couple more times to see how I really feel about it, but again, this is just a first impressions video, and so far so good. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and until next time guys, deuces.